Rock and roll. We are on the move. A freshly painted Frank. Let's see what the little turd has to offer. Probably not a lot. Well, first impressions, it certainly feels like a little track car. The coilovers are pretty hard. Harnesses are pretty good, all things considered. The budget bucket seats do the trick. I mean, they're not comfy, but they're not meant to be. It's not like I'm going to be doing mega commuting miles in this thing. Yeah, that's really wet. It's not, yeah, I felt the back end going a bit there. That was a bit weird. Yeah, just coming off that roundabout, I could feel, it was weird. It's just like the back end just started going twitchy. We'll say twitchy. It started going twitchy. Oh man, I can see this exhaust in me falling out. I mean, it's got no performance benefit whatsoever, but just a constant drone. Anyway, let's build up some speed, see what happens. Mighty Frank. What up? Aye, coilovers are fun. And then we go. Wow, that's like driving a really badly sprung rear-wheel drive car without any of the fun. Ooh, that was a strange noise as well. I think there's something wrong. I think it's time. Yeah, it's time to go back to the skunk works and see what the story is with this guy. So, beam's humped. Well, not so much the beam, the bushes in it. So, we're going to have to do a little bit of remedy on it. There's no way around it. The rear axle needs to come out, which is marvellous after having just ripped it all apart, put coilovers on it. So, yeah. I don't want to do it, but we're going to have to do it. So let's do it. Let's go. In keeping with the track car for a grand idea, I went onto a local auction site that does various things for cars. I picked these guys up. They're polyurethane bushes of an unknown generic brand, but they should do the job. But most importantly, they were cheap. I mean, like, cheap. So let's see how they do. Plus they're orange. Missed the car. Car's up in the air. First thing to do, let's get the shock absorbers off. A 15mm socket, we can fold. Next up, handbrake cable, which needs taking off the drum. Taking the drums off a Fiesta is an absolute doddle. Pop the dust cap off, take off the nut, and the drum comes shortly after. Bear in mind the bearing is part of the drum in this one, so watch where you throw the drum in once it's off the car. Try to keep the dirt out as well, it does help in the long run. It's better to use a screwdriver and take the tension off the handbrake and then pop the cable out from the lever. Once that's off, we'll put some plus gas on the nut that holds on the brake lines, and we'll be undoing those straight from the slave cylinder. That's everything off. Well, almost. So I've just got to drop the axle bolts that hold on to the car, and then we'll get the axle out and see what I think it's in. Bad. I'm reckoning bad. It's going to be bad. 15 again. Thanks, Bob. The only car in the world I've found that uses 15mm bolts everywhere. No, I'm using the wrong tool. For those that are curious, the correct tool in this instance is a 2-foot breaker's bar. These are some rusty bolts. The joys of Ford, fix on rest day, etc. This is what remains of one of my 6 axle bolts that hold the axle onto the body. As you can see, we've had to pull out the box of easy outs. For anyone who isn't aware of an easy out, it is a socket which works with a reverse cutting thread, such as so. You hammer the bad boy onto the top of any rounded head of a bolt, and as it hammers on, it will actually start biting in, and it continually bites as you unwind whatever it is you've just taken out. In this case, a rather sharp 15mm headed bolt. This is a problem for not now, for later on. We'll need to probably get another one of these guys. I might have something in my parts bin that could replace it, but for the moment, that was the 6th one. All of the rest of the other 5 are off, so we are ready to drop an axle. So here's something you don't see every day. Axle stands holding an actual axle. As in, not sills, not wishbones, not the actual chassis anywhere. An axle! You see that this car's making me slowly lose my mind. It's only just begun. The axle is out. Little learning moment. I should point out I'm not in any way looking at instruction manuals for any of this, I'm just working it out. This is the cable that goes into the drum. Most of you guys are probably running STs, so this won't really matter because it's disc brakes and that. But after having taken it out and still wrestling with the handbrake cable to work out how to dismember it all, where the entrance to the back of the drum is, there's a little clip here. That is how you separate the handbrake cable. You've got 2 little ends of cables here and a little retaining clip that pops up. Once that pops up, clip comes off and you just take it apart. Turns out Ford did think of certain things. Rust proofing wasn't one of them, but they've certainly thought of that, so didn't need to take the brake drums off at all. So bullets there. Right, let's get this axle in. So, how much play? All of the play. There is nothing really left of this bush doing anything of any note. It is gone. It's actually started to wrap up in itself as it's been over months. So yeah, it's gone. It is completely and utterly. The nuts and the bolts, the threads on them are so gone that they're never going to go back on. They're going to grunge, they're going to fight me, and it's still going to strip threads. So why flog a dead horse? I'm going to just chop straight through the nut, and I'll trap the rest of the bolt out, and we'll put some high tensile replacements back on once it's done, because I ain't got enough time for that. Right, earplugs, safety first. We're ready to put the new guys in. Observation on really cheap eBay bright orange poly bushes. They don't come with grease, which, you know, kind of defeats one of the main purposes of putting it in, is to make them last. Luckily we've got grease, so I'm going to add some of our own, but bear in mind, you probably won't get grease with cheap crap. Look at the orange, shiny, shiny. Fitting the bushes is probably the easiest part of this job. It's an absolute doddle. They press from the inside out, and I say press, they fall in from the inside out. Just make sure you've got your washers on each side. And in this case, we're using new nuts and bolts to hold them onto the brackets. All fitted and looking a treat. Not that you would ever know it looking at the car from the outside, but I'll now know that from the inside, the back axle isn't going to fall out. I can only imagine there's going to be some benefit to the handling as well. Only one way to find out though. Let's get it back on its wheels and take it for a spin. First impressions, what's it like? Well, brace yourselves, it's like a Ford Fiesta with all of the comfort removed, because it is a Ford Fiesta with all the comfort removed. But that's exactly what I was wanting. You see, Frank hasn't just got the only remit of being a track car. I mean, one day it might well be, if I can finally get the thing finished. Frank is the ToolsnTrack support car. It is the equivalent of a race prep work van. You'll notice the back seats are out. There's a reason for that. Dump runs, we don't actually have a bin in the unit. All these sort of things, you know, you can't do when a TVR's off the road. You can't really do in a TVR at all. And now he's on the road. So what's he like? Well, the turn in finally, after doing the rear beam, is good. It feels good, it feels planted. There's no great amount of weight in it. It grips to a point. It feels like you're going so fast when you're really not. And that's good. Sometimes it's good to just hone your skills a wee bit on something that's not going to get yourself in trouble. And that's what little cars like this when you were 17 years old were all about. Fair enough, you always drove like a helmet, but you never really got yourself in trouble. Now I'm at a stage where I can go, I know what I'm doing. I've got enough understanding of a spanner and a steering wheel. Let's see what we can really push one of these cars to do. And that's the point of Frank. We're going to shove a 2 litre in it to begin with. We're going to take it and drag. We're just going to push that envelope and see how far we can make this wee guy run before it eventually turns around and bites me in the arse. The initial outlay was like 250 quid, so it was a spares and repair car. Didn't take a lot to get running. We've done the paint just so it stands out a bit in track. That didn't really need done. Well, it did. Well, none of the panels matched, but it got done anyway. The shocks were gone, which is why we changed it. Never replaced and upgrade. Chucked in some cheap second-hand coilovers. 17s just because it's the easiest tyre that we can get on budget that'll grip. So yeah, the wheels look shonky and the tyres are half pumped, but that's one of the next things on the list. We will get a decent grip on there. Brakes, well, it's a Ford. You've already seen what we did with the TVR. I'm pretty sure the same conversion will work in this, so it'll stop. It's just a really good budget little car, and that's the idea. I know everyone has an ST, but I could have bought an ST and had nothing to do with it. This, we're building an ST and beyond, that's why. And everyone always says when they get a 1.2 car, I'm going to do this, that, and the next thing to it, you know. So what's my total bill for this so far? Well, taking into account all the second-hand stuff, paint and everything, I would say 600 quid. £600 for something that looks alright, drives, doesn't break down. You enjoy it. You enjoy it for 600 quid. It's a second car. It's something for scooting about, but it does the job. And so far it's doing the job. So what's next on the list? Well, it would be very easy to just chuck silly power at this thing, but if the TVR's showing me anything, it needs to be able to turn and stop before it can really go. Fair enough, the suspension's now, I mean the suspension's now okay, but I've not dialed in any settings on it. It needs work. We need to start fine tuning the wee guy, and we need to make him lighter. And that is the key. Before we put more power in, we need to follow the Chapman approach. Add lightness. Stay tuned and you'll find out what I mean.